Boeing CEO got a grilling on Capitol Hill this week, testifying about safety issues. Dave Calhoun apologizing to families who lost loved ones in crashes 5 years ago and stressing that they are looking into the MAX 9 door plug blowout back in January.
We understand the gravity, and we're committed to moving forward with transparency and accountability.
Still, Americans are wondering if Boeing planes are still safe. FAA airline transport rated pilot and associate professor of aeronautics at Kent State, Jason Lorenzen, is live with us now. Thank you for being here. Passengers are checking to see what type of planes they might fly on when they go to book their flights. So as many are up in the air over whether Boeing's planes are safe, what would you say at this point?
I'd say take that vacation, get on that aircraft. There's a system of systems already in place to ensure the safety of flight. Every plane that takes off, there's over 1,000 professionals to ensure that that plane makes it safely from its departure to its final destination. I fly very regularly. I have several of my family members, including my eldest daughter, is an airline pilot, and I would certainly get on a Boeing plane. Not to say that there aren't any issues that still need to be addressed.
Now, just this week, Boeing's pilots warned that the cabin could fill with smoke if a bird hit one of its engines. That's an issue. The FAA looking into what causes Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 to get within several hundred feet above the ground near this home. You see in our video we're playing here, that light in the sky close to a home just outside of Oklahoma City earlier this week. You know, Boeing is under fire for ignoring FAA regulations, hiding inferior substandard parts. Do you believe that the company has a problem that could put Americans in danger, or do you think that they can make changes?
I think they can make changes. I just don't think, I think Boeing is the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot of other stories we don't hear about with the aircraft manufacturers, and this is largely coming out of COVID. We hear about a pilot shortage. We can't produce enough pilots to satisfy the industry demand. We also can't produce enough airplane parts, enough mechanics. So as the demand for travel increases, I think the biggest problem that most consumers are going to have, the traveling public is going to have, is not necessarily a safety issue, but it's to get to their destination. They're going to be more encompassing with flight delays, potential cancellations. So I think that's going to, as the industry pans itself out here over the next 3 to 4 years, and largely too, more government oversight, and to make sure that these parts are no longer substandard, that the equipment, that the manufacturers develop a even stronger, safer product so that the Americans can feel very safe when they fly.
Is it possible, though, that some of these planes with the substandard parts could have a shorter lifespan of being safe?
I mean, they could, but again, each of these planes that you see flying has to go through a very rigorous maintenance inspection and it's regimented by calendar hours or hours. You know, most of these will go through 100-hour checks, phase checks, and that plane is ripped apart and every inch of it is inspected.
Now, the topic of Boeing's, continue.
And that's where, you know, a lot of these issues are coming out.
Yeah, and the topic of Boeing's treatment against whistleblowers, that was part of the hearing that's been part of a lot of headlines lately. Do you think the company has an issue with how it treats former employees?
I think not only former employees, but probably current employees. You know, again, the history of Boeing, really a lot of the problems stem back from when McDonnell Douglas and Boeing joined each other in about the late 90s. The safety culture of Boeing was much more superior than McDonnell Douglas at that time, and I think we can stem a lot of their culture back to that. And yes, it does need to change, because the saying before this happened was, if it's not, you know, if it's Boeing, if it's not a Boeing, I'm not going, which has now changed.
Okay, probably a hashtag too if you go on X or Facebook or Insta or anywhere else. Well, I really appreciate you joining me and explaining some of this, because I think a lot of people have concerns, especially as we're in the middle of the summer travel season. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you so much.